Hey everybody,
I have something to say.
we're gonna do some more Paris
Nobody's
Paloma.
ever made anything worth enjoying. Nobody can destroy it. Left unchecked, it mutates. Bleed in desperation to create. Collapses me like a star. Sickness inside my heart.
Wow, that first stanza there is already incredibly heavy, and I wonder if um, she's pulling a Joan of Arc reference here, or just a "I'm armored and no one can get to me" reference type feel to it, because she has a habit of getting on like 16 different layers through the visuals combined with the lyrics. I've started this day with some Paris Paloma, and now I'm going to end it with some Paris Paloma. Miyazaki, though, the only Miyazaki I know is from Studio Ghibli. So I wonder what connection
Whenever
there
I
might be
fear
there.
death, I think of the urge. I would fear much more. Never dying, is that what you all are striving for? I leave a stream of greenery in every path I walk. Chased by a monster of 1,000 voices that always wants one more.
Jeez. Chased by a monster of 1,000 voices that always wants one more. I'm not going to think too deeply over that one because I'm almost certainly going to be wrong. I am frequently wrong on how I take any isolated sentence in a song. So, but I feel it's probably society right there.
Please don't ever take it from me. Changes the color of the air that I breathe.
See, I didn't mean to stop it that quick, but my finger twitched, so I may as well say what I'm thinking right now. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Um, I've already lost my sentence while I was apologizing for that. She always uses big, although not necessarily epic, music that seems to be upbeat in one kind of way, but both complements and contradicts the weight of the lyrics.
In Greece's first island, the space in between clapping hands, they say it'll pass. I used to pray that it would, but its absence never brought anything good.
Oh, wow. That's heavy right there, and I appreciate that line about grief. I'm still years later not entirely certain I'm done grieving. And we don't need to get into that now. If you've been on the channel, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I wake in the morning, do all of my chores, then of thinking in silence and drinking sweet wine.
In the
Putting
morning?
my mind somewhere outside where it can feel the sun. Maybe it'll connect with someone. The world's a world and I'm a person in a tiny body. I vow to live, I won't let fear be anything that stops me.
That's a great line. I'm a person in the world is the world. I'm a person in a tiny body. I'm not a violent person, but I make things with aggression. That's the absolute truth. Her songs are, how shall I say it, poetically aggressive. She takes no moments to apologize for anything she says.
I'm not a violent person,
And she shouldn't
but
have
I make
to.
things with aggression. I'm not a violent person, but my work is one exception. I won't let you take it from me. Changes the color of the air that I breathe. I wasn't always tortured, I made art long before then. I crawl into the void until I lose my voice, but
I wasn't always tortured. I made art long before then. I call into the void until I lose my voice, but sometimes a cry reverberates back. I am curious about when she became torture, or this philosophical torture. I feel I don't know though, so because I've never delved into the backstory, so to speak, of her life. Most people who make songs as big and meaningful as Paris Paloma have events that they are trying to process through it. And I say most, but that's probably a specious claim. But many, many. Some people just understand how to make art that affects. And I call into the void until I lose my voice, but sometimes a cry reverberates back. That makes me think of, stare into the abyss signs, stares back. So that could be a rather poetic twist on that idea. I like it, one way or another. Well, I'm not prolific, but I get pretty obsessive about things.
I do it unpaid, unseen, unthanked.
That's my channel. Unpaid, unseen, unthanked.
I won't let you take it from me.
That's great. That's great. That shows a backbone we rarely see in contemporary popular music. I admire it so much. See, one of the things I like about Paris Paloma the most, she's got absolutely important things to say. And she's saying them, and she's making them absolutely clear about what she's talking about and how. This is a mile away from a lot of the incredibly pretentious pseudo pop we saw in the late 80s and through the 90s, where they tried so hard to make the message artsy that they just lost people. It's like, can you have a point and get to it, please? Whereas Paris Paloma is like, here's my viewpoint. What are you going to say about it? I adore that. Absolutely love that. See? She's got an absolutely distinct viewpoint, and she brooks no argument with it. That's awesome. That's a spine. That's out there, and there needs to be so much more of that in modern music. And that's why I love metal so much, because it gets that point across. Anyway, that was a great song. I would love to hear it again, fully from start to finish very, very soon. Probably this afternoon. This is brought to you by all the wonderful people on the Patreon. Patreon.com/SuperMachoJediKnight. Keep popping, babies.